Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 966. My name is Christine, and on today's episode, we're using the Lumi Inkodye with some scan and cut stencils. So today I'm going to show you a couple shirts we made, still using Lumi Inkodye that I showed you in the last video last week. But this time we're doing it with stencils, not with masks. So we decided that we want to cut out some sayings. So we used the scan and cut to type in what we wanted to write, and then we cut it out to make these own masks, or own stencils, out of just a cardstock. So we wanted to make Mark a shirt, and his favorite movie is Indiana Jones. So we looked up some quotes and we decided we would use "Very dangerous, you go first." And we just typed it into the scan and cut, placed it how we wanted it, and then cut it out of this black paper. And this is the shirt. So what I did was I laid down my stencil so I knew where the words were going to be, and I put ink all over where you see it here. And then I put my stencil down, just sort of lined it up, sort of like that. It's sort of stretched out now. It was stretched more before. And I put in piles of pins because once the paper hits the ink, it starts to move a bit and curl, and so we had to put lots of pins. We used the Coroplast to put it in, just like we did in the last video. If you didn't see it, make sure you go back to watch the previous video on how we use the Lumi Inkodye. And so we put lots of pins to keep down the letters, and then you can see the letters came out perfectly, but we did end up still with the ink around. So I think maybe it's the paper, because it's paper. Maybe some sun still can penetrate through the paper. This is just a cardstock. I'm not exactly sure, but you do get that. Mark doesn't mind it though. It sort of gives a place for the layers to sit, or the letters to sit. So it's okay, but just to keep in mind that when using the paper, it still gives you a little bit of coloring in the background. Now Gemma, she didn't want that coloring, so she did hers a little different. So we decided we'd make a shirt that says "I like horses," and I'm not sure if you can see all the little pin marks to show you all the places we had to pin it down to make sure that all those things stayed down. So here was her shirt. So what she did was put her stencil down and took the ink and colored in all her letters. So she didn't have the whole background of color. She just colored in all the letters. And then we put down all our pins. And I think what happened was with the shadow, the pins cast a little bit of shadow and we got a little bit of lines here. So if that bothers you, you want to make sure you're positioning it so you're not getting any shadows cast onto your ink. But this is how her shirt came out. She doesn't have that area that Mark has. It's just basically where the letters are is where her ink shows. So, and again, we had just cut this with the scan and cut. We put it in. They have some different lettering, so this is a different letter than the one we made for Mark. So that just gives you another way to use the Inkodye, this time with stencils. And if you want just the letters, just paint in your stencil. Or if you want a background, then you can do this and then get it. The letters will be darker on the background. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I am showing you the Crystal Ninja. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.